Assalamualaikum, we're back. That was a bit of a surprise. I saw myself on the screen. Welcome back, guys, for the second segment of BFA's On the Ball. Right, we're going to get straight to the CFL action from Wanstead today. We haven't yet gone through the First Division results. So we're going to see the First Division results on the screen, and then we're going to look at the Premiership table and the First Division table. So when you're ready, we can look at the results. I think this on the screen now, you can see the First Division results. I will read them through for you. The first result, big game of the day. I think I tried to get the cameras to this game, but unfortunately it is a morning kickoff. Yeah. But well done, Newark beating Brick Lane and undoing their 100% record. Newark beating Brick Lane 4-2. We'll chat about that in a bit more detail. Well done, Newark. Good result, guys. And more importantly, to the man on my left, he's going to be very happy. Elsa, we were talking about it last week. One of them was going to drop some points or maybe share the points today. Elsa beating IFE Tower Hamlets 4-1. Congratulations, Elsa. You're off the mark with 3 points. Well done. IFE still to pick up points. And then, brilliant. This sounds like a game and a half, and I think Shua's got some words to say about this game. Poplar drawing 5-5 with Seoul. What a game. We're going to talk about that in a bit more detail. Yep, and last of all, Sayat losing 2-0 to Aberfeldy. Well done, Aberfeldy. Right, so let's look at the Premiership table and the First Division tables when they're ready, guys. Yeah, they'll be on the screen shortly, but let's start with the big game of the day in the First Division. I think probably the biggest game of the day. I think we've got the Premiership table on the screen in front of us. So FC Bengals, as we can see, lead the way, unbeatable by the looks of it, although Enam seems to think they are beatable. We'll see. 100% record, 21 points from 7 games. Well done. Followed by Ace dropping points. Enam E7 had the chance to go level pegging with Ace, but unfortunately dropped the points today. Ace in third on 10. Propping up the table, London Central on 3, followed by Abahani, who picked up another 3 points to move away from London Central, but still in second place. So things looking good for most teams in the Premiership, but can anyone take anything off FC Bengal is the question. Let's look at the First Division. We have Brick Lane losing today, so that's their unbeaten run comes to an end, their 100% record. 18 points, but still top. Well done, Newark, 16 points, back on the winning ways, and Aberfeldy in third spot. My tip, with a game in hand, I think they're going to be the surprise team of this First Division. IFE still to pick up points on 0 points. Come on, guys, I'm supporting you guys. You're my team in the First Division. I want you guys to pick up a point. Come on, don't let me down. Right, so let's talk about First Division football. The first game of the day, the big one of the day, Brick Lane versus Newark.
First versus
Mr.
second.
Pundit,
Yeah.
tell us what's going on.
I mean, I spoke to the captain, Shakil, before the game a couple of days ago, asking how he is. He says the team's all ready to go. Then I asked him after the game, because I got there early to see how their game was getting on, and it was, unfortunately, from what I saw, Newark, everything just seemed to be ticking for them. The passes were going right, the moves were all working out well. I think Prince made a big difference up top for them because he was laying off. I mean,
he got a couple of goals today.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and the team is a young team as well, which I really like about Newark as well. You know, the youngsters are there, and they're
everybody says they're young. They're not young. They've been playing for 4 or 5 seasons now. They're all experienced. Shafi, we've got the other players. They're all good, talented kids.
I think they're relatively young. Yeah. Probably their size as well.
Yeah,
definitely.
You know,
they are small. Yeah.
Physically, I think they look
they're hungry.
Young.
I mean, they're really hungry. That's the good thing about it. I mean, Shax was saying, and the honest truth was, where they weren't making the mistakes, for example, when we played them, everything seemed to be working in their direction for Brick Lane. It wasn't as clean cut for them. The defence was making silly errors. They're making the wrong decisions a lot throughout the whole game, and you could really see that in the game, unfortunately. But I think Newark came out with confidence, with hunger, and real desire to want this game, because they knew this is the chance to break and get closer to them, because it's a 2-point gap.
And you talk about quality. Prince, I mean, he's a
fantastic
regular semi-professional player who could have probably played higher level. So that's the kind of players and standard CFL is attracting. And as I said, CFL for BFA is a prestige project, and I can see it going strength from strength. And we are going to put more resource into CFL to make it even more prestigious.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, guys, everybody watching out there, please, if you want to get involved in the discussion, it's your show. Let's make it as interactive as possible. We've got the CFL Cup draw to come. The Cup action starts next week down at Wanstead. We're going to be doing the draw in the final segment, as well as the highlights from the award ceremony on Monday night. So keep tuned in. if you've got any questions for the panels to my left, or Mr. Arazbai here from the BFA, call in. We want your questions. We want your opinions. That's what it's about. Any teams, any players out there, please call us. Right. Oh, we have a caller. Blimey, that was good. See that? I just do it and it happens. All right. So, Snarlcom, welcome to the show. Who do we have on the line? Ali, Snarlcom. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's go to the next caller. Guys, please, if you've got something good to say, then call in. You only make yourself. I'm sure there's someone out there who will recognize these pranksters. So it's not worth. We have kids watching as well. So please do not do these type of silly things. It's not worth our time. It definitely isn't worth your time. Find something else to do. Okay. So the Elsa. Let's talk about Elsa. Well done. Congratulations.
Elsa, yeah, thank you. We've changed management at Elsa, and he's got his first win. Iqbal's managing from today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
And so we've signed him. We've transferred him to E7, and he's managing Elsa.
All right.
And he's got his first win.
So he's a player manager now.
No, he's playing for E7
Yeah.
and managing Elsa. So that was a change we made.
For the last 6 games, you were the problem.
I was the problem. I'm always the problem. I don't know. I need to give management up.
Yeah.
You know. But I just want to say congratulations to the boys. They played really well.
Name a few names for those. Give them a shout.
We've got a 17-year-old playing. We've got an 18-year-old playing for our team now. I mean, Raju plays left midfield. He can play left back. He's got so much energy. We've got a 40-year-old playing for us.
That's great to hear, and that's
we've got a 40-year-old playing for us as well. He's 40.
Who?
But it's a new player we've signed, Reggie. I mean, he's excellent.
You know, times are hard when you're signing a 40-year-old.
No, but this guy, he can play 2 games in a row.
I think age shouldn't be a barrier.
No, of course it's not.
I mean, there's a lot of 40-year-olds who are really good, and they still can play at this level. So I don't think age should be a barrier.
Yeah. No, of course it's not. Of course it's not. Yeah.
This 40-year-old, he can play 2 games, 2 90 minutes games. It's not a problem for him.
Yeah.
He's so fit.
Well done, because he's signed 2 players, both age 40 this year. 80 years between the two.
There you go.
We're sorted. Happy days. Happy days.
Fantastic.
All right. So next, tell us about Saya. What happened today? Because Aberfeldy, obviously, my tip for the. I'll be quite open. I love the way they play football. They seem to have a really good work ethos about them. They train hard and they play hard as well, and they play some good football.
Definitely.
I mean, you were complaining that you didn't take your chances. Tell us a bit more.
I wouldn't say it's about taking our chances, but I think it's again. I think we probably had a similar game to Brick Lane. I thought we weren't as hungry as we usually are. I mean, the team themselves. I mean, I was looking around. I mean, I was given captaincy today because our captain was off injured, unfortunately. So. I just felt like the hunger and desire wasn't there. I mean, Aberfeldy just wanted it more than what we did. I mean, it was a battle in the middle. It really was. And I think their midfield, credit where credit's due, they did outrun us there in the middle, definitely. Defensively, they were quite tidy. We were as well, because I don't think they had any clear-cut chances. They broke us twice and counter-attack football, and that's where they made
They're not particularly a big side, are they?
I mean, no, they're not a huge team in that respect, no. But they are a good passing football team, definitely, and you can see they've been playing together as a unit for a long time. You can really see that. The way they pass the ball around, the way they move as a unit together works well. I mean, they can play a high line as a defensive line, and they caught our new striker. We had a new lad, Tom. He had his first game today. Played really well, I thought.
What formation did you play?
We played a 4-5-1 is what we usually tend to play, with a diamond in the middle there. So it seems to work for us there.
But you said you packed your midfield, but you were out fought in midfield.
We do. I mean, I think they played exactly the same formation from what I saw as well, because they only had one striker up top, and it did exactly the same thing. But yes, it really was they were hungry for the ball more than we were, and they played really well. And credit to them. It was a good game overall. It was. I mean, it was broken here and there a little bit, but apart from that, no.
Definitely agree. Emrul Aberfeldy are a credit to our league, and I think that's really encouraging.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it last year a lot on the show as well. I'm not sure how many teams in Sunday leagues train, but the teams goes to show the teams that make an effort to train during the week and they play on the Sunday, their results prove that the work that you put in.
I mean, definitely football is a very hard trade, as you know yourself, but half of it is about mental strength and training. I mean, some of the plays I see, I can tell straight away how are they going to last 90 minutes, because the shape of the body, with due respect, you can tell. And the reason FC Bengal are steamrolling teams is because they're fitter.
Yeah.
So the second half of the games, they score 4 or 5 games because they know the opposition are tired, and when you're mentally tired, you lose concentration.
Definitely.
So part of the battle for the other teams is to train hard, like Abafedi do, and make sure when you go on the football pitch, you are fit. Because no matter how much skill you have, if you can't run and you get tired easily, you can't win a football match or be competitive.
Okay. And I was just stepping away from the first division for a moment. Let's go back to FC Bengals now. Obviously, you guys are the league champions. Yeah. What's your take on FC Bengals at the moment? Because they look really, really strong. And from your perspective as a manager, and also with a E7 that are the champions, and you've got a group of players that are, a lot of them have played Saturday football, and some still are.
Still playing Saturday football.
Do you think it's a positive thing? Do you take it as a challenge, them being in the league?
Definitely. It's all good for the league. The challenge is there, it's competitive, and they're a great team. I'm sure most of their players play Saturday football as well. So,
I don't think it's a secret that their boys, all of them play minimum semi-pro.
But then again, you got the likes of Prince, for New York. He's a seasoned semi-professional player.
Nana playing.
You got
as well.
Nana. You got Barry who plays for Mohammedan. There are a couple of other lads in Mohammedan. Fozzie, who else?
I think Daryl plays a bit.
Daryl.
So Ace have got players that play Saturdays as well.
Same with E7. We've got a few players playing Saturday level, but the difference is, I think, to keep it going throughout the whole season and the team gelling on the day, they've made it. The commitment. Look at the commitment level. They're coming all the way from Reading. They're there before everyone else. They're there on time. They're getting changed.
That's what I'm saying.
They're more hungrier. They're more hungrier.
And that's what annoys me. There's a lot of talent locally, but I think basically, if I'm being frank, the players are lazy. They don't train hard enough, in my view. If they trained properly, they could match FC Bengals with the talent the local teams have. But
last season we wanted it more than anyone else. The first half of the season we didn't have the best start, but second half of the season, after the first phase, we wanted it more. We went unbeaten all through. We just had that one draw against Shadwell, and Shilling was the difference because of that draw. But saying that, I mean, every game we went in the mentality that we're not coming off this pitch lose. We have to win the game. And that's the same mentality FC Bengals got now. And they've signed a few new players as well.
But I think I'm really proud of them because, like you say, they're very professional. That's how all teams should be.
Of course.
They come all the way from wherever they do. They're first to the pitch. And
they've always got a smile on their face.
Exactly.
They play with the right attitude.
Absolutely.
They're not a nasty team. They're a pure footballing team, and it's a joy to watch them. So, congratulations to Imran and...
we should just give him the trophy now and start again. Start the season again.
A lot of teams don't train. Okay,
no,
one or two to train. For example, in your case, you guys don't train at the facilities or whatever reason. But then, surely the question arises: does it come to the management? Does it come down to management on the day or during the week? I want just a bit of an insight as to we've got a manager here on the left. You're champions, but how do you go from on such a high to be in a position where you're struggling on a Sunday?
Yeah.
How does that happen? That's what I want to know, and I think that's what everybody wants to know.
Of course. I mean, it comes down to the management as well. I mean, why don't we train? Why isn't the players ready for Sunday? I mean, the players are adults. I mean, they play Saturday level football. When they come to Sunday league, they've got this thing in their mind that the season's over. They think the season's over. FC Bengals won it. But the thing is, we're just playing for catch up now. So I don't know. I've got all the excuses in the book.
As you know, it's never over. Even last season, FC Bengal had a good start.
Oh, fantastic!
Second half, they faded. So it could be the same come the winter time. But yeah, it's surprising they've already given up. But that's
most of the teams have. Everyone's talking about runners up now. I mean, all my players are talking about, the season's gone, we're going to either the cup or it's going to be runners up. That's not the right attitude. I'm not saying that is the right attitude. I mean, the whole season's there. You never know what's going to happen with FC Bengal. There's still time. I mean, I can't answer that question why they haven't got the same mentality as last season. I just, lack of players not being committed. Manager's doing his part. What can you do? I mean, I'm not going to give it up.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course. We're not Sunday league footballers, but as you know, Saturday league is totally different. You know, because one thing, you're not training. Yeah, you're training for your Saturday team, but you can't fit the Sunday league football training in for your Saturday
like
team.
You say, a lot of the Saturday team players, they take it a bit easy because obviously they think, you know, it's probably less of a challenge. They can just walk in and play the game.
But you know what? That begs a question for me as if I'm playing on a pitch and I'm thinking, once you get onto a pitch, you want to play, you want to win.
Yep,
yeah?
Of course.
It begs the question: if someone's not willing to try, do we bring in someone else who's willing to try? Who's
Yeah,
going to make more of
I
an
mean,
effort?
how comes the FC Bengal lads, they play Saturday higher level? How are they coming to Sunday level and still motivating
doing exactly the
themselves?
same thing.
It's a very hard question. I mean, which
No,
I
it's
was
not, I'm not thinking I'm picking on you. I'm thinking about just Sunday league football in general. Without being disrespectful, a lot of teams don't train during the week. So it's literally getting 11 players, the best 11 players that you can get on a Sunday, or the most consistent 11 to 14 on a Sunday, and making them work on that day.
I disagree. I think most teams train. Most teams out of the 16 teams, most train.
Yeah.
Obviously, E7 being an exception. I'd be interested if other teams could call in if they don't train.
I'll give you an example. With our team, I mean, we normally have a Tuesday session, and
how many players turn up?
From my B
But
team?
we have to talk about the 5-5 Poplar.
Yeah, let's quickly.
that was a game of the sea and soul.
Yeah, we've got that question though. Do you get lots of people turning up to that training session?
I've just had to. This is the thing. I just had to reevaluate our training session because not everybody's able to make Tuesdays, so we're having to shift it over to Thursdays. Because I really feel it's had a massive impact on our results. Our last 4 results have been poor for what Saya are, and the guys have admitted, and they're happy to move our training session to another day.
I'm quite surprised about that because when we talk about Saya now, it's well organised.
I mean, they've got. I mean, a lot of them are now getting older. Work-wise, commitments have changed and so forth. So we're having to. We should have probably addressed this sooner, and we haven't addressed it as soon as we should have done. I think that's the reality. But yes, when it comes to training, we always have normally 20 players there training week in, week out.
Also a personal responsibility. You have the collective. When I used to play, I talk about my colleagues as well. We used to train on top of our, team training. We used to go to the gym, and kind of keep ourselves fit that way. And our fitness sometimes used to tell. That's how we used to beat teams, is because we were fitter on the day.
Yeah.
So I think it's a collective, obviously, team responsibility. But then individually as a player, if you can't train, then you should, on your own, find a local gym or go jogging and ensure that come Sunday you're fit to play.
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay, right. So let's move on because I think that is a massive topic and it's something I definitely want to talk about in a bit more detail properly. I think because Arazbai says it's if you can't train, then obviously with the team make the effort to train away from it and by
eat properly.
Well.
Diet is important as well.
It's something that we talk about with the youth as well, especially in the Tau Hamlet's Youth League as well. That, by the way, started this weekend, so we can talk a bit more about that shortly. But like Arazbai said, we do have one more result to talk about, the Seoul and the Poplar game. You spoke to Sanabai, who was refereeing that game. It was 5-5. That's a game and a half.
He actually felt like he was at a basketball game. He was running end to end, back and forth constantly. I think he was tired because he was the linesman on our game. What is that saying? It was amazing. It really was. Every time either team was attacking, they seemed to finish in their chances away. So fantastic for an attacking.
So we had our own El Clasico.
It sounds like
must
it.
Have
Really
been a
does.
good game to witness.
Watch, yeah, definitely. He says, every chance we were getting, the goals were going in, and he wasn't. From what he was telling me, the goals weren't poor goals as well. He wasn't like, bobbling off a few players and then just bouncing in. It looked like good attacking football from both sides.
Because Seoul is a team who's renowned and everybody will know them from the Tau Hamlet's Youth League who tend to generally do well in the Tau Hamlet's Youth League. They seem to, under 10s, under 12s, under 14s, under 16s, they win everything. And then all of a sudden, you never hear from them again. The kids, I don't know what happens to these kids. The adult team isn't as successful as their the youth setup for whatever reason, but we've all seen like I said, the youth league is there. But what's is it the step up from kids to adults? Is it just a size?
I don't. Maybe they have to. I wonder whether all of them do actually continue into the adult team or whether they do. I know because there's a few ex-Seoul boys that are with ourselves, for example, that used to play with them and so forth, and they're saying they didn't used to get into the team, so they're dispersed. So maybe that. that unit that they used to have that was going through the youth setup suddenly splits up, and they don't have that unity that they did have. Because I think, don't forget, when you're playing regularly like Aberfeldy, which I'll go back to, you can see they've probably been playing from a very young age because the passing is so slick amongst the whole team. And I think that's what happens with Seoul, and then maybe it just stops at a point where they can't keep everybody together and they move elsewhere. Maybe that's what I think, possibly.
Okay. Poplar United, another team that's relatively new to our league, run by our very own Shajim, who does a lot of work behind. We had Taif on the show last week, who spoke very highly of the manager and the work he does for the club and the community. But they're, again, another club that seem to be, they train hard, but they're definitely on the rise, Arazbhai.
Definitely, as there's another team which they can be proud of themselves, and a credit to CFL and credit to our community. As I say, Shajimi does a wonderful job on the field and away from the field, and I can see them growing in stature like Aberfeldy, etc. So the established team have to watch out, because if they become complacent, your likes of Aberfeldy, Poplar, even Ilsa will be taking the mantle. So
okay, Inam, your last words for you. We've not got much time. With regards to E7, Elsa, what's the future for you guys?
Future is Elsa. That's why I've decided to put the Elsa in the team, like in the league, because players they've been playing for me for the last 15 years. I think it's about time we've moved a few on, or they want to retire. If they want to retire, I think it's a few of them last season. So we've got some youngsters coming through, and partly because I wanna compete in the BFA Summer League as well. We've got some good Bengali players coming through as well. So
those that don't know, what area is Elsa? What's the catchment area for Elsa? It's not Tower Hamlets.
No, it's not Tower Hamlets. It stands for East London Sports Association.
Okay.
It started from West Ham Park when I started under 10. Started from under 10 training. Been training there for the last 4 years. I had under 12, under 14 teams. The under 14 team went to the under 16s, and we actually.
Is it mainly them players that are playing for you now?
Only 2 have made it from the under 16s team to Elsa now. Okay. So some of them have moved on to other teams.
Yeah,
and
I mean, that's great stuff, I mean, it just shows that if you have time and effort and put resources in young people, in a few years' time, you can get a new adult team, like as you have.
Yeah, we've had 2 come through. The thing is, from 16, 18, it's very difficult. They seem to drift out of football for a while, when they're like, when they're 17, some of them, they wouldn't want to carry on playing.
Yeah, because, a lot of them may have education.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So I think it's time that probably next season I will get a few of them back coming to Elsa from the under 16. A few of them made it to Dagenham Redbridge Academy. A few of my boys, under 16 players.
Right.
One of them, he was already at Fulham when I had him. So Sunday League, it's another commitment. Do they want to be a part of it? So
do Elsa plan to have Elsa or E7? Do you plan to have training sessions during the week?
We had training session last year. We've had it all every time, but like you say, it's very expensive in the winter to carry on getting an indoor facility, or in the summer it's okay, but even last year we've had it all through the summer and the winter. But obviously, this new sponsorship deal should help us getting the training back.
Because I was going to say, sorry, and do you not charge players? Because our Mohammedan team, all the players contribute to the training session. That's how we've been coping this year. Obviously, we're trying to get funding, but as you say, per quarter is about £500 to have a decent facility, indoor facility.
So is that something definite that's moving forward?
Moving forward, definitely. I mean, Elsa have been training for the last 4 years. Even last year, we've trained at a local school in Stratford, and it was on the Thursdays. And going forward, Iqbal and me are working on a training facility local in our borough. So it is going to happen sooner or later. It needs to happen.
Okay, and that is all incorporated with this sponsorship deal that you've got.
Incorporated with the sponsorship deal. And
if there's any young kids watching out there, how do they get in touch with you guys?
They need to get in touch with me, obviously, through BFA. They'll have the details there. and locally, contact. We haven't got website, but obviously from BFA they will be able to get in contact with us.
All right, okay. So that's the CFL round. It's more or less done. We've just got the CFL Cup draw to do. We're going to do that straight after this segment. So when we come back for the final segment, we have the award ceremony to go through. We've got the highlights of that from Monday night. We'll have a chat about that and how well it went. And also we've got, like I say, a small matter of the CFL Cup draw, and Arazbai, Shuel and Enam here will be doing the draw, and we can look forward to that because that's going to be next week. Right, so Arazbai, from your perspective, give us a quick roundup of CFL and from what you saw today, and how's it going
well,
for
I
you?
mean, alhamdulillah, it's going great. I would like to thank all the players, managers and the teams. They make what CFL is, really. Without their help and effort, CFL won't be what it is. And as I say, CFL is now our prestige project, and it goes on for 6-7 months. Obviously, I can see CFL competing with the Summer League for prestige, and all our effort and resources are going to be on CFL, and it's great stuff.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's the second segment done with. But like I say, we've got more important things to come back to when we come to the third segment. We have the CFL Cup draw and we have the highlights from the award ceremony. So please join us in the final segment where we'll be chatting more about everything CFL and BFA award ceremony. See you in 2 minutes.